What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Brad Browning, and I am YouTube's #1 breakup coach. And you're watching my latest advice video where I'm going to explain the steps that you need to take to avoid becoming plan B for your ex. Now, if you are hoping to get back together with an ex, then what I'm about to cover is critical information and you are going to want to keep watching. First, let's quickly talk about why your ex might be hoping to make you their backup plan. Now, a lot of people really don't understand this, but the simple fact of the matter is that most of the time, your ex just isn't going to be 100% certain about the decision to break up. So just like you are, they're likely fearing the idea of being single and struggling to cope with the heartache and the post-breakup emotions. And this means that in most cases, your ex is going to be hoping to keep you in their back pocket as a plan B option in case the single life doesn't work out or they realize they've made a mistake in ending things with you. Now, at first, this might seem like great news, right? After all, that would mean you'd be able to get them back. Except that that's not how it works. Please just trust me on this because I've been a breakup coach for over a decade and helped tens of thousands of clients win back their ex. But the truth is that allowing yourself to become your ex's backup plan is actually going to kill your chances of ever getting back together. Now, the simple explanation is that by making it clear to your ex that you're okay waiting around for them to hopefully change their mind about breaking up, you're really not putting any pressure on them or allowing them to worry about losing you forever. And that is going to be a very scary thought for your ex. And the fear of you moving on or finding somebody new to replace them is extraordinarily powerful if you really do want them back. So as long as your ex knows that you'll be waiting around, eager to say yes immediately if they want you back, that's almost certainly never going to happen. This really just firmly shifts the balance of power entirely to your ex, and it gives them the comfort of gradually getting over you, and it'll make it much more difficult for you to move on as well. Essentially, allowing yourself to become plan B for your ex removes any sense of urgency, and it makes the entire process of getting over the breakup less painful and less frightening for them. Okay, so at this point, hopefully I've convinced you that putting yourself in this kind of situation is going to destroy any hope of getting them back. So let's move on now and talk about how to avoid falling into the backup plan trap. So step #1 is to employ a period of no contact. First, you absolutely need to use my 30-day no contact technique as soon after the breakup as possible. If it's already been, a month or more since you first broke up, you should still, in most cases, go through with a period of no contact where you don't speak to your ex at all, or at least, as little as possible. Now, for anyone out there who doesn't know if no contact is appropriate for your specific situation, please visit breakupbrad.com/coaching and sign up for my one-on-one personal coaching service, and I'll be happy to learn about the details of your breakup and help you create a plan to win them back. Now, no contact is important because it really just shocks your ex into recognizing what life is like without you around, maximizing those feelings that they're going to have of missing you. If you don't use no contact and instead you continue to, talk to your ex regularly, you're slowly reducing the amount of contact between you and your ex, which is going to help reduce the heartache that they're going to feel and let them gradually fade you from their life. Now, by not speaking to your ex, you're also going to create a sense of mystery. They'll wonder why you're suddenly no longer interested in talking with them, and you'll essentially upend their expectations and create, more of a sense of urgency by signaling to them that you're already moving on. And step #2 is to hide your emotions. Now, this is kind of along the same lines as what I just talked about, but you really want to keep your heartache and your emotions out of the public eye. If your ex thinks that you're struggling with the breakup, thinks that you're heartbroken, or gets the impression that you're not moving on quickly, then that's a sign that you are willing to be their plan B option. Obviously, that's not what you want, so keep your emotions hidden from your ex as much as possible. And step #3 is to not show your true intentions. Okay, so it's clear that you are trying to get back together, obviously, but you definitely do not want your ex to know that. In fact, the more convinced that he or she is that you're actually fine with the idea of breaking up and you're already moving on, the better. Now, I know this might sound backwards at first, but if your ex thinks that you're actively trying to get back together, they're going to be less likely to respond to your calls or texts, and they're going to be more guarded when it comes out to accepting an offer of hanging out with them or seeing you in person. And along the same lines, when you're using any kind of sneakier tactics, such as my covert jealousy technique or the clean slate message that I cover in my X Factor program, you really do need to be subtle and avoid letting your underlying intentions become apparent to your ex. Now, that means you should be careful not to seem, too eager to respond to your ex's messages. And you need to be sure that anytime you reach out to your ex, you're carefully crafting the interaction to ensure that you don't make it obvious to your ex that you do want them back or that you're making an effort to get a second chance with them. So here's an easy tip to keep in mind. If your ex were to call you and ask you to take them back, he or she shouldn't know for sure what your answer to that would be. If they know that you'll immediately say yes and take them back anytime that they want, then you've definitely become their backup plan. And as we've already discussed, that is a bad thing. And step #4 is not to get friend-zoned. Now, this is something that I've talked about before in previous videos, but you definitely don't want to allow yourself to fall into the friend zone trap. Now, I know that being friends with your ex may seem like the next best thing if you can't be together in a proper relationship, but it's actually going to hurt your chances of ever getting them back. Now, I think this is probably already fairly obvious from what I've already covered so far in this video, but essentially, becoming friends with your ex is another way that you can make the breakup easier for them. So by being their friend, you're again just letting them gradually let you go from their life rather than shocking them into realizing what life is like when you're suddenly not around anymore. You really have to make it absolutely clear to your ex that if they choose to break up with you, then they're on their own and they can't come running back to you if they find the single life less fun than they'd imagined it might be. Now, if you've already agreed to being friends with your ex and you need help escaping the friend zone, then you should head over to my website, breakupbrad.com, and watch the free video that I've posted there. The video is going to give you some more advice on how to proceed with your ex and how to escape the friend zone without shutting them out of your life permanently. And again, you can watch that full video at breakupbrad.com. All right, and step number 5 is to start living life to the fullest. So when you start going out, being social, making friends, taking up new hobbies, and thriving in work or school, your ex is going to notice, and he or she is going to see clearly that you're not, a low-value, desperate loser ex. In fact, nothing says, I'm nobody's backup plan better than generally just thriving in life and making it obvious that you're moving on to bigger and better things, unless your ex quickly changes his or her mind about breaking up. Okay guys, that is about all I have time for in this video. Hopefully I've convinced you that you cannot allow yourself to become your ex's backup plan, because doing so is going to ruin any chance of getting him or her back. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to leave your questions and your hate mail in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.